Okay. Welcome back. We are back, and last time, well, it's been a minute. I know it's been a long while, but last time I said that, last time we worked on this exploding barrel, and I said that we are going to work on aiming our gun this time, so we can aim up or down because we don't want to make all these barrels this big. You know what I'm saying? And we only did that for testing. So this is going to be quite a lengthy video. But we're going to work on the aiming of the gun, and we're going to make it so that she can aim up and down. Now, in order to get started with that, we're going to have to do a few things. So, I think that the first thing we'll do is let's fix something real quick. So, go to your laser or your bullet. So, mine's going to be in bullets, laser, right? And this destroy actor, this target needs to be hooked up to something. We don't want the laser to be destroyed. We want the actual exploding barrel to be destroyed. So that's a fix right there. Make sure you make that fix, and we can close that down. Next thing that we need to do is we need to go ahead and fix some animations, or we need to set up some animations so that she can aim up and she can aim down. So find your animations for Scarlet, or for your character. Mine's going to be in character, Scarlet, animations. Alright. Now, what we want to do is we want to create a new animation offset. So right click, go to animations, and you're going to see offset 1D. That's the one we want. Make sure you match it up with the skeleton. And we're going to call it, we already tried to name it, but let's call it something different. Let's call it aim offset, so AO underscore ADS, aim down sights. Okay, now what we want to do is let's click and open that up a little bit. Don't mind all this extra stuff here, don't worry about all that. But on the left hand side, what we want to do, or actually, if you notice, this is set up just kind of like a blend space right here. So same thing with the horizontal axis and whatnot. So on the left hand side, horizontal. This time we don't want to name it direction. Let's name it pitch this time. Okay. And for the values, we're going to put -90 all the way up to +90. And that'll be good for us right there. Another thing we can do is down here where it says the additive settings. Let's change this base pose. And we want it to be the idle. So if you have your rifle idle, look for that one. The one where she's just holding the gun regular. You could just type it in, idle. I won't be able to find another way. Here's it. Rifle aiming idle 1. Boom. Save. Alright. Now, what we need to do is we need to find that animation, so the aiming animation, and just find it by clicking the folder here. And what we're going to do is we're going to change this. So right click and duplicate it. And we're going to name this AO, so aim offset underscore aim forward. Cool. Now, what you want to do is click on all of that, and then we're going to remove the frames. So when you double click on the aim forward animation, it'll pop up. Here, let me save. I know mine's popping up, but I got this content browser open. Here you go. Alright, so this is the aim forward. Again, don't mind the swords. We're going to fix all that. We don't even need to. You could turn them off, to be honest. Alright, so anyways, in here, what you want to do is you want to go over to the asset details now. And in the asset details, before we get there, let's actually try to remove these frames. So drag this thing all the way back to here. Right click on the green line down here. And we're going to remove frames. Remove frame 20 to 94. Then right click on it again. 5 to 21. Right, keep on doing it until you can get to one frame. Right? So this should be almost there. There we go. One frame. Cool. That's all you need is one frame. Alright, next thing you want to do is in the details, set the additive type to mesh space. So over here, additive type, look for it. Here it goes. Additive anim type. Let's turn it to mesh space. And then it's going to ask us base pose. Same base pose. Select the animated. There we go. And find your rifle idle. There we go. Oh, not idle, sorry. Rifle idle. There we go. Save. Alright, cool. Now what we want to do is we want to select the skeleton. So select her skeleton and find her spine. So come down here and find her spine. Where would that be? Here we go, spine. And this is going to be the aim forward. So we don't really need to mess with this one. In the next one, we will mess with it. So save, and then go to your content browser, and we're going to make a duplicate of that one, and we're going to call it aim up. So duplicate AO, instead of aim forward, I'm going to call it aim up. All right, cool. Now on this one, this is where we got to change it up at. So on the spine, we're going to actually, click on her spine, and we're going to move it up so like she's aiming up. This is how your character will aim up. So we want her to be like that, right? And then in order to save this, all you have to do is press the key button up here at the top, press key. And then once you got that key down there, you can apply it. Oops. Save and apply. Okay, that should be right. And the only way that you can test that is this. You close this down and you open it back up and see if she's in the same position. And if she is, we're good. So her aiming it up is good. What I would do though, look at that. Her spine, she's aiming like a little weird. Let's change it so that it's like straight up. Right? Save. Apply. Alright. So what you can do now is you can close that one down and then do the same thing for the down one. So what we'll do is duplicate the aim forward, duplicate, and we'll call it aim down. Alright. Do the same thing. Find our spine. And we're going to just point it down this time instead of up. So let's drag that off and point it down like that. Bow. Perfect. And the same thing, key and apply. Okay. Save and exit out of that. And let's double check that's still correct. Okay, we have all the 3 animations that we need. Now we need to add those animations into our aim offset. So open up your aim offset, and for the middle one, what we're going to do is we're going to grab that aim forward, and we're going to smack that right in the middle. But here's something easier. Asset details, snap to grid. Make sure you snap to grid to make it easier. It's going to aim right there forward in the middle. And then for the aim up, we're going to put it to the right. And the aim down, we're going to put it to the left. So, boom. And aim down to the left. Bow. Okay. Perfect. Save. And now what we need to do is set this up in our animation blueprint. So, click on your character's animation blueprint. And in our gun walk, this is where we could probably set this up at. So double click on your gun walk, and this is all set up nice, but after this we need to put in our animation offset. So drag in that offset you just made. Perfect. Hook the base pose up here and hook this up here. Now for the alpha we'll leave it as 1, but the pitch we need to make a variable and figure this out because we want her pitch to match. So what we need to do is let's go ahead and go to the event graph for our animation blueprint right here. And you see how we got everything set up. We need to set up one more. And in the event graph, here's what we'll do. All right, right click in an empty space and say try get pawn owner. Click on that. And then get base aim rotation from there. Get base aim rotation. It should already be like a function set up by Unreal. And that's going to tell us where we're looking at. And now what we need to do. Okay, cool. So here we go. We're going to split this structure pin. I need to get more space. So right click, split this. So now you got X, Y, and Z. Perfect. And then we need to add a variable. So come down in your variables and add a new one. And we're going to call it pitch. And this one's going to be a float. So let's change that to a float. Compile, save. Okay. Now, what we need to do here is we need to add or drag off your Y and say less than or equal to 180. Or greater than or equal to 180, I'm sorry. Greater than or equal to, and we'll change that to 180. Cool. Also grab off the Y and say less than, or no, say subtract 360. So subtract 360. Alright, trust me, this is going to be right. So here we go. Next thing we need to do is from here, let's just put a branch. So hold B, hook your branch up. And down in the bottom, what we're going to do is we're going to take this condition, this one right here, hook it up to the branch. Then from the branch, we're going to set the pitch as true. So you can grab your pitch off and set it. And we could do that 2 times, copy and paste. So for the true and for the false. Perfect. Now what we need to do is for the Y, we need, or the true pitch, we need to set that one as this one. So hook it up to your 360. And for the bottom pitch, we need to set it up as this one. This one, sorry. Compile and save. Okay. That should be right. So set pitch, blah, blah, blah. Last thing we need to do is come down to our blueprint for our character so we can make sure that she's executing that correctly. So in our blueprint character, in the event graph, we set up an attack functionality last time. So let's fix that. Let's work on it. So down here in your attack, we can actually make this a lot better. Let's kind of fix some things here. So I'm going to delete a lot of this. Let's delete a lot of this actually. So from the arrow, let's get world location. Cool. And we can break this transform over here. So right click, split. Perfect. So now we've got the location and you want to hook that straight on up. And then from the arrow, get forward vector. Get forward vector. Cool. From there, you want to drag off and say make rotation from Z. Make rot from Z. It stands for rotation. From there, we want to drag off this rotation and say make rotator down at the bottom. Cool. Now, last thing we need to do is make rotator from Z, hook that up into the Z. Get base animation rotation. Right click. Well, we can't hook up to Z yet, so 1 second. Get base animation. Get base aim rotation. There we go. All right. So for the Z, what we need to do is let's go ahead and split this. Cool. And for the Z, we'll just hook it up to the Z. Bow. And for the aim rotation, we can split that as well. And then we'll take the Y and hook it up to the Y. Wow. Cool. That should be pretty much everything, honestly. Let's test it out. I don't know if I missed anything or not, but let's go ahead and test it out. So, when she walks over the gun, comes on her back, and I'm going to pick up my controller for this. I've been using my keyboard and mouse for a long time, but I need to test out things on the controller too. So aim, boom, boom. She can aim up. Yep. And aim down. But, you see something? Something is wicked right there with our bullets aiming. I've got it going in the wrong direction. It looks like it's going in the... It's going to the right there. But, I mean, you can see that she's aiming up and aiming down. Here's where I think I messed up at. Okay, it seems to me that I forgot to do one thing here. So go back to your animation blueprint and that pitch variable that we just made. We need to go ahead and put that into the pitch. And that may fix everything. So put that in there, compile and save it. I have a problem where my laser is shooting the wrong way, but we'll see if this fixes it. If it doesn't, then I'll go ahead and fix the projectile movement on my laser. Or I'll fix a few other things. Let's see. So this, alright, cool. Now her offset's working. She's aiming up and aiming down. Of course, I'll have to go in there and fix those animations. But for the time being, we can aim up and we can aim down. Now let's fix that laser, last thing, and then that'll be the end of this video because this is a very long video. Okay, I kind of figured out what I messed up here. So let's delete what we have here. You can keep just delete the make rotator. We don't have to even delete the make rotator. Delete whatever was before there. And we're going to put something else here. So from the arrow, drag off, like the get world location is correct. That's hooked up into the location. And again, we're on the attack on the gun. So drag off the arrow and say get world rotation. Okay. Now what we're going to do is split that. So open that up, split that. Alright, so what we want the arrow's rotation, we want the X to be matched up with the X. So wherever she's pointing the arrow at, we want it to shoot from there. And we want the Z also rotation to be matched up. So whichever direction she's shooting. But for the Y, up and down, we want it to be hooked up to wherever she's looking, which is her base animation. I mean her base aim rotation, sorry. If that's hooked up correctly, that should be good, okay? That should fix the direction of the arrow. But go into your character movement and make sure use controller desired rotation is clicked and orient rotation to movement is also clicked. Compile, save. I believe that should fix our problem. So let's press play. Run into the gun. Equip the gun. She aims. Yep. So there you go. She can aim up and she can aim down. So that's pretty much how you aim right there. You can fix it up to, be however you like it. Because for me, I like it like this. This is pretty cool. I could fix it so that it's like aiming more straight. Instead of having to aim up a little bit when she's straight. But then again, it's fixed to the controllers where her eyes are, so I kind of like it. And that's pretty much the end of this video. In the next video, like I said, with the barrel, we're going to make sure that she takes damage when that barrel explodes when she's too close. And then we get to set up the rest of the level. I'm going to fix her jump too. Ew, that was ugly. But I'll fix the jump in the next episode, and we'll do the damage from the barrel. So thanks for joining me this time. I know it's a long video, but I hope you learned something. We learned a lot, like how to fix animations and all kinds of stuff. But I'll see y'all next time. Peace. Hey!